All across South Louisiana celebrated Mother's Day today with a variety of different traditions. Josh Robertson spoke to several this morning who stressed the importance of celebrating the special women in our lives.
About 35 people coming over to the house today.
Mother's Day is of course celebrated all over the country, but in Louisiana, it's a holiday that also perfectly aligns with peak crawfish season.
Yep, doing a crawfish ball for Mom and a couple family members and looking for a good time.
The parking lot at Captain Sid's Seafood filled up quick with pickup trucks early Sunday, with the understanding that Mom shouldn't have to lift a finger.
Because they're the reason for all of us, right?
Mother's Day is second, third biggest day of the year.
The National Retail Federation predicts people will spend nearly $36 billion on moms this year. Ray Schlaudecker says next to Easter, it's easily one of the biggest days of the season.
Traditionally, it's always a big day. People go to church, come, get their boiled, their live crawfish, go home and eat as a family.
Elsewhere in New Orleans, some mothers were treated to fine dining and, of course, the all-important jazz brunch.
It's extremely important.
It's everything. I just feel blessed.
Mothers arrived at Commander's Palace dressed in their Sunday best, treated to an incredible meal by their children or significant other.
Having this wonderful Mother's Day jazz brunch that my sister who lives in New Jersey blessed us with.
Yes,
it's a blessing.
Indeed, it is. And we're so excited.
Marva Doty was taken to brunch today by her daughters and says building a strong relationship even after her kids were grown up has given her life so much joy.
You seem like a proud mother.
I am.
We are.
83 years old, proud.
And for those mothers who went above and beyond during our childhood and never asked for anything in return, this day is the least we can do.
It is important, because life is short.
Yes.
And spending quality time with your mom or, with your dad is important.
It is.
It truly is.
Josh Robertson, Fox 8, Local First.